Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Comedy this hour. We're going to start off with a Thanksgiving episode of the Jack Benny Show from 84 years ago, where Jack is going to have something special for Thanksgiving. Phil Harris and Alice Faye also dealing with turkey trouble. Turkey problems with Amos and Andy as well from 80 years ago. And the Old Gold Theater and the Vicious Lady and Claudia. And wondering about what in the world's going on with Roger. That's all coming up this hour on this Sure Happy It's Sunday. 19th day of November, 323rd day of the year, 42 days left till we get to 2024. 1493, Christopher Columbus went ashore on an island he saw the day before. He named it San Juan Bautista. It would later be renamed Puerto Rico. In 1916, Samuel Goldfish and Edwin Selman established Goldwyn Company. The company later became one of the most successful independent filmmakers. Samuel Goldfish, by the way, changed his name to Samuel Goldwyn. 1954, Sammy Davis Jr. lost his left eye in an auto accident in San Bernardino, California. Apollo 12 astronauts Charles Conrad, Alan Bean landed at Oceanus Procellium, the ocean of storms, and became the third and fourth humans to walk on the face of the moon.
Okay, the flag is up.
Roger, copy, the flag is up. We show you're very close to the nominal timeline. How about a EMU check?
Okay. Yes, we have the flag up. Like I say, I hope everybody down there is proud of it. If we are to put it up.
Everybody remembers who's first. But, remembering who was third and fourth, because that's still a major accomplishment. Charles Conrad, Alan Bean, landing on the moon on this date in 1969. 77, Egyptian President Anwar Sadat became the first Arab leader to officially visit Israel when he met with Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin and spoke before the Knesset in Jerusalem seeking a permanent peace settlement.
What I really, at heart, want from this visit, that the wall of that was created between us and the Israelis, because of the psychological problems, comes down. If this war, the psychological war, comes down, I'm okay.
Of course, peace in the Middle East is something that I hope we'll be able to see sooner rather than later. 1979, Iranian leader Ayatollah Khomeini ordered the release of 13 female and black American hostages being held at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran in 1979. In 1985, in Geneva, President Reagan, Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev met for the first time. In 1990, pop group Milli Vanilli stripped of their Grammy Awards because the duo didn't sing at all on the Girl You Know It's True album. Session musicians had provided all the vocals. In Des Moines, Iowa, on this date in 1997, Bobby McCauley gave birth to septuplets in the second known case where all 7 babies were born alive.
This is one of the most blessed events that I've ever encountered.
Father Kenny McCauley, they would go on to become the first set of septuplets to survive infancy. All 7 were alive in 2019. Alrighty, in 1998, the House of Representatives Judiciary Committee began impeachment proceedings against President Clinton. In 1999, John Carpenter became the first contestant to win $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That would be $1.8 million today. 2004, a brawl broke out between Detroit Pistons and Indiana Pacers players during their game at the Palace of Auburn Hills in 2004. The brawl turned into an even larger fight between Pacers players and Pistons fans. In 2006, the Wii, the Nintendo's company's game console, first went on sale. 2007, Amazon introduced the Kindle, an electronic book reading device. I have been around the world about 3 times with mine. Not all the way around the world, just halfway and back. And in 2002, a gunman killed 5 and injured 17 at Club Q, a gay nightclub in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The gunman pled guilty, sentenced to 5 consecutive terms of life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 2,211 years. By the way, one of the things that the Libertarian Party of America has done following some of these shootings has offered people free weapons training classes, and aim particularly at the gay community. And I think that's a really good idea. That's, you may disagree with my opinion, and you're more than welcome to. But I tend to think that what America needs to take care of bad guys with guns is more good guys with guns. Passing away on this date in history, Stephen Fetchit, the actor, singer, dancer, also singer Bobby Russell, made me known for a songwriter. Mike Nichols of Nichols and May fame, Charles Manson, Della Reese, and Mel Tillis. Oh, what a wonderful man.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
And among those who celebrate birthdays today, evangelist Billy Sunday.
America needs a tidal wave of the old-time religion. America needs to be taken down to God's bathhouse and the hose turned on her. And the time isn't far distant when the wheels of God's judgment are going to go sweeping through this old God-hating world. And I want to take a pledge in this audience to join me in a pledge that you will never rest until this old God-hating, Christ-hating, whiskey-soaked, Sabbath-breaking, blaspheming, infidel, bootlegging old world is bound to the cross of Jesus Christ by the golden chains of love.
Back in 1929, Billy Sunday, ball player turned evangelist. Also born on this date in history, the 20th President of the United States, James Garfield. Also actor Clifton Webb, bandleader Tommy Dorsey, Prime Minister of India Indira Gandhi, actress Jean Tierney, baseball player Roy Campanella, Ambassador to the UN Jeannie Kirkpatrick, television interviewer Larry King, actor Dan Haggerty, and the man who played second fiddle to a horse. Mr. Ed was the horse, and the man, Alan Young.
Lester had a knack. Even though he used a soft nylon thread put under the lip. And then he had the end going down the bridle, and he just give it a little tug, and Ed would try to get rid of it. That was his cue. And then he laid a crop across Ed's forelegs, and that was the cue to stop. That was it. But the second year, we could hardly stop him from talking. As soon as he heard my voice stop, his lips would start to go. I'd go ride. I learned to ride on Ed, and Lester and I'd go riding in Griffith Park together, and we'd talk as we rode along, and suddenly Lester laughed. And Lester didn't laugh very much. He said, look at Ed's mouth. When I stopped talking, he'd start to move his mouth. So he was a smart horse.
Maybe didn't talk, but he sure acted like he talked. Alan Young, born on this date in history, and he was a delightful comic, too. Let's see, other people born on this date. Dick Cavett, the talk show host, 87 today. Ted Turner, 85. Clothing designer Calvin Klein, 81. From West Wing and Mom, Allison Janney is 64. Actress Meg Ryan is 62. Jodie Foster, 61. Dax in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Terry Farrell, is 60. Country singer-songwriter Billy Currington is 50. The co-founder of Twitter and the founder of Square, Jack Dorsey, is 47. And the 1996 Olympic gold medalist Carrie Strug is 46. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the 19th day of November as their birthday. If this is your birthday,
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to
you. Dang String of You Boys. And now we go back 84 years, November 19th, 1939. For Jell-O, it's Jack Benny and an ostrich for Thanksgiving. That's up next here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. But first,
in case of enemy attack or grave national emergency, keep listening to your radio. The emergency broadcast system will immediately bring you official information and instructions. Stations will not give call letters, but will identify the area they're serving. So dial around till you find the right one in your area, and then follow the instructions given.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues now with an episode of the Jack Benny program, 84 years ago, November 19th, 1939. Lots of Thanksgiving shows coming up here in the next day or so.
J-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingstone, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. The orchestra opens the program with It's a Whole New Thing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the age of research. So we've been doing a little research on the subject of Jell-O. Well, we found out that the best days of the week to serve Jell-O are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Which is just another way of saying that Jell-O is always, anytime, and every time, a perfectly swell dessert. For Jell-O brings you that full, extra-rich flavor. A flavor as fresh and sunny as the real ripe fruit itself. And all 6 of Jell-O's famous flavors has the same rich goodness. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. A grand, satisfying flavor that has made Jell-O America's favorite gelatin dessert. And you like Jell-O's gay, appetizing appearance, too. Its shimmering, jewel-like colors that make it look so inviting. So enjoy some tomorrow. Just be sure to get genuine Jell-O and don't accept any substitutes. Look for those big red letters on the box. They spell Jell-O. It's a Whole New Thing, played by Phil Harris and his orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again we bring you our master of ceremonies. That bubbling personality, that effervescent comedian, that fizz, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny, the carbonated kid, talking. And, Don, I like that introduction. It fits me to a T. I am bubbling and effervescent. The fizz, you can have that.
Well, Jack, let me explain. When I called you a fizz, it was really a compliment. I meant you were physical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fizz for short.
I understand, Don, perfectly. In other words, if you called me a mug, you really mean I was magnificent. Is that it?
Exactly.
Well, Don, if you think I fell for that, you're a fathead, and that's short for your whole body. Anyway, Don, let's not get into a routine because I know how you appreciate a good story. And I heard a gag a few minutes ago that will positively put every one of your tins in motion. Oh, it's a honey.
It's a good one, huh?
Well, Virgil, the sound man, told it to me, and you know what a clown he is. Get this, Don. Don, I haven't even told you the story yet. What are you laughing at?
Is it the one about the nearsighted old maid that buried the midget?
No, heavens, no, Don. Heavens, not that one. This is a brand new story. Get this. There was a fellow walking down the street, and he was leading a pink alligator on a leash, when all of a sudden it started to act up and snap at him.
Uh-huh.
So the guy got annoyed, turned around to this pink alligator and said, "You better behave yourself, or I'll take a bromo seltzer, and that'll be the end of you." Oh, isn't that terrific, Don?
Oh, it sure is. That Virgil has a great sense of humor.
Yes,
Gee, that was a funny story, Mr. Benny.
Oh, Dennis, I didn't see it. Did you like it?
Yeah. But there's one thing that puzzles me.
What?
If the man was walking down the street, where did he get the bromo seltzer?
Well, I don't know. He probably had a box of it in his pocket.
Oh. Then I guess he had a glass of water in his other pocket.
Yes, Dennis, and a banjo on his knee. Now, Now, don't worry about it. Say, you're here kind of early tonight, Dennis. Where's your mother?
She's across the street in the bowling alley.
In the bowling alley? Well, with her legs, she better watch out. Anyway, Dennis, I'm glad you're here on time tonight. Now, try and make a habit of it.
You know, Jack, I can't get over that story you told me. It's silly, but I get a great kick out of it.
Isn't it ridiculous? Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. What's so funny?
Mary, I must tell you. Did you hear the story about the fellow that was walking down the street leading a pink alligator on a leash?
Is that the one where the man said, I'll take a bro myself and that'll be the end of you?
Yes.
No, tell it to me.
Well, this guy was... Wait, you just told me the answer. I thought you said you never heard it.
Oh, stop, Jack. That's one of the oldest jokes in the world.
Mary, jokes happen to be my business. And if that was the oldest joke in the world, I'd be the first one to know it.
Should I let him have it, folks?
Never mind. Do me a favor, will you, Mary? Go out and come back in again.
Well, gee, Jack, as long as you're telling jokes, why don't you tell a good one? I heard a gag last night that was terrific.
Oh, you did, eh?
Yeah. A man walked into the house and said to his wife, it's raining cats and dogs outside.
Uh-huh.
And she said, how do you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I just stepped in a poodle.
I know where you heard that, Mary, at the Wilshire Bowl. Phil Harris has been husking that for 3 years. That's his theme joke. You know, Don, Phil's idea of humor is really pitiful.
Oh, I don't know about that, Jack. I was at the bowl one night, and the people screamed at him.
Sure they scream at him. Every time he finishes a gag, he has a waiter throw a custard pie in his face. That's why.
I didn't see anybody do that.
Oh, well, you must have been their bucket of water night. That's his idea of changing material.
Well, I'll say one thing about Phil. He sure attracts the young collegiate crowd. All the college boys go there.
They have to go there, Mary. That's part of their initiation. Before they can join a fraternity, they have to either listen to Harris or sleep all night in a graveyard.
In a graveyard?
Yes, and you'll be surprised at the number of kids around here that aren't afraid of ghosts. Yes, sir.
You know, Jack, Phil sure believes in that college spirit. Look at that sign on the bass drum.
Oh, yeah. Phil Harris and his collegians. Look, he spells collegians with one L.
Well, he spells Phil with two, so it's all even.
You know, Mary, sometimes I think that Phil...
Jiggers, here he comes now.
Don't jiggers me. Now, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Jackson. What's going on?
Well, to tell the truth, Phil, for the last 5 minutes, we've been talking about you.
Well, a little build-up ain't never hurt nobody.
No, Phil, and never done you no good, either. Your grammar is worse than Abe Lyman's, and he never got beyond block.
Well, who cares about grammar? I got other things to worry about.
Oh, I can imagine. Say, Phil, I noticed that new sign you got on the bass drum. What happened to that corny painting you used to have there?
Corny?
Yeah, you know, the one with the yellow moon and the green river and the purple trees. Remember that one, Mary?
Yeah, he used to call it Gypsy Doodle by Rembrandt.
That's the one. Whatever happened to that painting, Phil?
I sold it to the Metropolitan Museum in New York.
You mean the Museum of Fine Art?
I don't know what they got there, but that's the joint that bought it.
Phil, are you crazy?
Crazy nothing. Someday that picture will be hanging in Paris, right next to the Mona Lulu.
Well, I'm not going to even bother to correct that. How do you like that, Mary? The most famous painting of a woman in the world, and Phil doesn't even know her name.
If she were alive, he'd know her name and phone number.
And her address and what she's doing on Friday night. Well, I got myself on a detour for no reason at all. And besides...
Hey, Jack, why don't you tell Phil that story the sound man told you? He'll get a kick out of it.
Oh, he wouldn't even get it.
Come on, Jackson, what is it? Let's hear it.
All right, Phil. Do you know the one about the fellow who was walking down the street and his pink alligator snapped at him?
Know it. I'm the guy that drank the bromo.
There you are, fellas. He's always got a brilliant comeback, even if he has to make a bum out of himself. Oh, Dennis?
Yes, please?
How about a song before we get involved again?
Okay, Mr. Benny. I'm going to sing an old favorite by Stephen Foster called Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair.
Oh, that's swell, Dennis. I love those old songs.
Old songs, old gags. What this program needs is glands.
Mary, you just attend to your own little knitting. I'll handle the show. Sing, Dennis. The guy that drank the bromo.
the light brown hair, on like a vapor on the golden air. I see her tripping where the bright spring plays, happy as a daisy along her way. Many are the wild notes a merry voice would call, many are the blithe birds that warble them all. Oh, I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. I long for Jeannie with a day-dawn smile, radiant with gladness, warm with winning guile. I hear her melodies attuned to love, warm as the sunlight from heaven above. Many are the fond notes a merry voice would call, echoed by the birds in the grove, o'er and o'er. I sigh for Jeannie with a light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. On the
I Dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, sung by Dennis Day. And Dennis, those old songs always do something to me. I love them.
Me too.
Jeannie with the light brown hair. What a grand title. You know, Dennis, I used to have light brown hair in my hair.
Why, Jack, from the pictures I've seen of you, I thought you had black hair.
No, Don, it was brown. Sort of a russet brown. You know, just like the leaves in autumn.
Well, rake 'em up and let's get on with the show.
I wish you'd stop with those interruptions. Anyway, Dennis, I noticed another thing. Your singing seems to improve every week. You're gaining poise and confidence.
Well, thanks, Mr. Benny.
Just think, this is your 7th week on my program.
7 weeks. Gee.
Yes, sir.
Am I going to get paid pretty soon?
Pretty soon, Dennis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to...
Hey, Jackson, why don't you pay the kid?
Phil, I intend to pay him. I'm merely holding his salary until he's a little older. I'm teaching Dennis how to save money.
Well, he's learning from the top man.
Thanks, Miss Livingstone. And if I were you, I wouldn't say another word unless you rube it up on the Lum and Abner program. And now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to...
Here you are, Dennis. Did you sing your song yet?
Yes, Mother.
Well, good evening, Mrs. Day.
Good evening.
Oh, Mother, you should have been here a few minutes ago. Mr. Benny told the funniest joke.
It was rather good. Tell it to her, Dennis.
Well, Mr. Benny was walking down the street leading a pink alligator.
Oh, stewed, eh?
Dude, it wasn't me, Mrs. Day. Dennis got the story all wrong. I never touch a drop of liquor.
Then why have you got that red nose?
Because I'm a comedian. What do you think? My tie lights up, too. This story, Mrs. Day, is about a man who takes a bromo seltzer and gets rid of a pink alligator.
What's funny about that?
Nothing. It's very sad. I'm crying like anything. Oh, what a dame.
What's that?
I said, oh, what a game. I saw UCLA play Santa Clara yesterday. It was thrilling. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you will please forgive my outburst, as I started to announce, tonight we are going to offer an original little playlet all about Thanksgiving, written especially for the occasion by Mary Livingstone. Mary, let me have it, will you?
Oh, Jack, I forgot to tell you.
What?
I changed my mind about a Thanksgiving play and I wrote a poem instead.
A poem?
Hey, Mary, you mean to say we're not going to do a Thanksgiving play?
No.
Gee, and I was all set to be one of them pilgrims.
Oh, fine. You'd make a great pilgrim, Phil.
Well, I would. Listen, buddy, my ancestors came over on the Mayflower.
Oh, did it dock in Dixie? I thought your family always lived in Tennessee.
Not originally. You see, we migrated from Massachusetts.
Migrated? You don't by any chance mean you migrated?
All right, we moved. Forget it.
Migrated. You hear that, Mary?
Yeah, he put in an extra syllable in it.
You're not palooling.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of the mood, let me say a few words about Jalelo.
Jalelo?
It is economical, easy to make, and comes in 6 delicious flavors. So look for the big red letters on the barack.
Thanks, Don. You surveyed the day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we have no Thanksgiving play...
Mary Livingstone's going to read a Thanksgiving poem.
Oh, no, nothing doing.
Oh, gee, it's swell, Jack.
I don't care. You're not going to read it.
Jack Benny, you let me read this poem or I won't buy my Christmas card from you this year.
All right, a lot I make on the ones you get. You don't even have your name printed on them. Now go ahead with your poem.
Okay.
What's the title of it?
The title is Thanksgiving, You're a Little Mixed Up, Aren't You, Kid?
Well, that fits. Go ahead.
Oh, Thanksgiving, you are with us twice this year, with your pumpkin pie and dressing, and your turkey, front and rear.
That's the part I always get.
The Pilgrims planned in days of yore that you'd come once, not anymore. But now you are a double feature, and we don't know which day to greet you.
Greet you?
That's what I said, you gorgeous creature.
Now don't be funny. Go ahead with the poem.
Suppose we had 2 everythings, 2 New Year's Eves to laugh and sing, 2 Christmases, 2 Labor Days, and 2 Jack Bennies with 2 toupees.
Mary, you're too pressing. Are you through?
No, but I'm coming into the stretch.
Oh.
So Thanksgiving I don't mind.
Well.
If you're a week before or a week behind. What's the difference? What the heck? The turkey's the guy that gets it in the neck. The end.
Very good. Mary, that was silly, but you came through with flying colors. And now, Phil, how about a number to kind of break things up here?
Okay, Jackson, what do you want us to play? Anything special?
Well?
You name it and we'll play it.
All right, how about that number you rehearsed all morning? You know, the only one you can possibly play.
Oh, okay. Hit it, boys.
He asked for request yet. Hold it a minute, Phil. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
Are you a little mixed up on account of the 2 Thanksgivings this year?
Yes, I am. Why?
I was in a fog when we only had one. Goodbye.
He's not kidding, folks. He's got his shoes on backwards. Play, Phil. Strawberry Bean, a swing version of an old favorite played by Phil Harris and his orchestra. And now, fellas...
Hey, what's the matter? Aren't you going to complain about the number we just played?
No, Phil, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it, didn't you, Mary?
Yeah, it was swell. Did you like it, Don?
I thought it was okay. How'd you like it, Jack?
Oh, it was great. How'd you like Phil's number, Mary?
Well, I thought it was a little loud in spots, didn't you, Don?
Yes, it seemed a little off here and there. What did you think of it, Jack?
I thought it was lousy. And now, fellas...
Hey, what is this, a rib?
Yes, Phil, we were just kidding. I thought your number sounded exceptionally good. Didn't you, Mary?
Feel me out. I'm tired.
Now, fellas, as I started to say a little while ago, and before I forget it, Thursday being Thanksgiving, I want all of you to come over to my house for a real old-fashioned turkey dinner. How about it?
Oh, that's great, Jack. We'll be there with
Dennis, this invitation goes for you also.
His mother, too?
Yes, Mrs. Day, my party wouldn't be complete without you.
You don't sound very sincere about it.
Well, what do you want me to do, send you a mash note? Glad to have you. The more the merrier. Good heavens.
Say, Jack, is this party going to be like the one you gave last Thanksgiving?
What do you mean?
I mean, is the turkey going to be leg of lamb?
Don't worry about that, Mary. This is going to be a real dinner. I've got the biggest, fattest, juiciest turkey you ever saw.
Where'd you run over it?
I didn't run over it. It's a live turkey. I got it in my garage right now. It's roosting on my Maxwell.
That's all that car needs.
Now, you wait till you see that bird. I bet it weighs 65 pounds.
65 pounds? Why, Jack, you must be mistaken about that.
Oh, no, I'm not, Don. I had it on the scales. It's an enormous thing.
65 pounds? Oh, you're kidding.
I'm not kidding. Wait till next Thursday and you'll see for yourself. It's going to be a swell party.
How many people are you expecting, Jack?
Well, there'll be our gang, and then I invited Clark Gable and Carol Lombard, Bob Taylor and Barbara Stanwyck, Tyrone Power and Annabella.
Oh, Jack, you always ask them to every party you give, and they never show up.
Well?
Why don't you stop inviting them?
I can't stop now. They'll think I'm mad at them. You know how it is.
How can they be mad at you when they don't even know them?
I don't even know them. Listen, Phil, I know every one of those stars personally.
Sure, Jack tells them their Christmas cards.
Mary, will you stop harping on that? The only reason you ever got cards from me is because I happen to have some left over.
Every year.
Oh, quiet. Now, don't forget, fellas, Thursday night at my house.
Oh, wait a minute, Jack. You know that.
Boy, we're going to have a big turkey and cranberry sauce and mashed potatoes. And, Don, guess what kind of jello we're going to have for dessert?
Strawberry?
No.
Raspberry?
No.
Cherry?
No.
Orange?
No.
Lemon?
No. Give up?
Yes.
Lie. You see, Don, you almost had it.
There's a kindergarten commercial if I ever heard one.
Never mind, that's what we're going to have. Now, look, kids, if I don't see you again before Thanksgiving, be sure and be at my house by 7 o'clock sharp. And don't eat a big lunch so you'll really enjoy the turkey. I'll take it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny, this is Rochester.
All right, what do you want?
Well, boss, I just heard you talking about a big Thanksgiving party Thursday night. That's my night off.
I'm sorry, Rochester, but you'll have to work. You can take a day off some other time.
I can get my twin brother to take my place.
I don't want your twin brother.
Well, he looks just like me.
I don't care if he does. I want you to be at my house on Thursday night.
How about me in spirit and my brother in person?
Rochester, don't try any tricks. I can tell the difference between you and your twin brother.
That's more than this gal can.
Never mind. Now, look, Rochester, I want you to get that turkey up to 70 pounds by Thanksgiving, so go out in the garage and feed it.
I'm working on a Christmas card.
They can wait. Now, go out in the garage and feed the turkey.
Okay. Oh, say, boss, I meant to ask you something about that bird. Are you sure it's a turkey?
What do you mean, am I sure it's a turkey?
Well, I went out in the garage a few minutes ago and she laid an egg as big as a cantaloupe.
As big as a cantaloupe? What are you talking about?
Not only that, but every time I go in there, she sticks her head in a bucket of sand.
What?
Boss, you bought an ostrich.
I bought an ostrich?
That's right. She just ate the headlights off your car.
The headlights? How do you know?
She had 2 Adam's apples and they were going down fast.
It's all your fault, Rochester. You were with me when I went shopping for a turkey. Why did you let me buy an ostrich?
I told you it was a pretty big bird for the money, but you know you.
I guess there's nothing we can do about it now. Isn't that awful? I got a polar bear in the guest room and an ostrich in the garage.
And mice in the pantry. Let's move out.
Now, don't get panicky, Rochester. I'll be home in a few minutes. Meanwhile, call up the market and order a turkey.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, say, boss.
What?
Have you changed your mind about using my twin brother Thursday night?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'll figure out something. Goodbye.
Wait a minute. Rochester! Rochester! Well, I'll be darned.
What's the matter, Jack?
Honey, that big turkey I bought turned out to be an ostrich.
Oh, boy, you're going to be lonesome on Thanksgiving.
I am not. Now, Mary, don't worry. We're going to have a swell dinner. Play, Phil. I wonder if you can eat an ostrich. I don't know.
This year, some folks are celebrating Thanksgiving on the 23rd of the month, others on the 30th. Well, either way, I'd like to offer a suggestion in regard to your holiday menu. For dinner, of course, there'll be plum pudding or pumpkin pie, but later on in the evening, when supper time comes, bring the day's feasting to a fitting close with a truly out-of-the-ordinary dessert. A shimmering dish of golden lemon jello. Now, there's really a luscious-looking dessert, ladies and gentlemen. A grand treat full of the ripe, tingling flavor of juicy lemons fresh from the trees and glowing with the warm color of sunshine. And you can serve it in shapely molds garnished with fruit, nuts, and maraschino cherries. Or it can be sliced into dainty cubes, tumbled into parfait glasses, and topped with snowy whipped cream. Either way, it adds up to a mighty slick dessert that will catch every eye and capture every taste. And that goes for all the rest of Jell-O's 6 delicious flavors. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. Jell-O, remember, is a light dessert. Just the thing to appeal after a heavy midday meal. And it's quick and easy to make and Mother will appreciate it after cooking a big Thanksgiving dinner. So order genuine Jell-O from your grocer tomorrow.
Of the 7th program in the current Jell-O series, and we will be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. Now, don't forget, Mary, next Thursday night at my house for a real Thanksgiving dinner.
Count me out, Jack.
Now, wait a minute. I'm not going to serve that ostrich. I'm going to have a turkey.
Oh, you are, eh?
Yes.
Well, if I find a headlight in the dressing, watch out.
Oh, don't worry. Good night, folks, and a happy Thanksgiving.
Here's news. Every Tuesday night, the Aldrich family is on the air, starring Ezra Stone as Henry Aldrich, that lovable hard luck kid. Consult your local newspaper or radio guide for time and stations, and be sure to tune in on the Aldrich family next Tuesday night.
Bluebirds in the Moonlight is from Gulliver's Travels. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
And there you have it. November 19th, 1939, 84 years ago, the Jack Benny Show here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Let's hear about the cranky band leader, the one that worked for Jack, Phil Harris, Alice Faye Show from 73 years ago. That's coming up next here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. But first...
Are you saving old newspapers, magazines, paper bags, and boxes? Paper is a vital war material, and there's a serious shortage. Sell your waste paper or give it to a local charity. And now we move out of the theater and into the street.
Of course, the street we move into is in Hollywood. This is Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. 73 years ago, November 19th, 1950, Phil Harris and Alice Faye.
From Hollywood, the Phil Harris, Alice Faye Show. We your enjoyment, here is the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show. Written by Ray Singer and Dick Chevrolet, with Elliot Lewis, Walter Tetley, Robert North, Janine Roos, Ann Whitfield, Walter Sharp and his music, yours truly, Bill Foreman, and starring Alice Faye and Phil Harris. Alice has decided to take the children to Palm Springs for a few days. Phil is unable to go, so her brother William is driving them down. As we look in, Alice is saying goodbye to Phil.
I hate to leave you home all alone, Phil. Just think, I'm going to be gone for 3 whole days.
Yeah, goodbye. Bye.
Stop pushing. Phil, you don't sound like you're going to miss me.
Oh, honey. How can you say that? With you away, this house will be an empty shell. Every place I look, I'll see you. The memory of your face and the echo of your voice will linger in every nook and cranny. And I promise...
for heaven's sake, Philip, stop being so corny. You're such a square. Shake hands with Alice and tell her goodbye.
What do you mean, shake hands? I'm going to kiss her goodbye.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't. Every time you do that to my poor sister, it makes me sick to my stomach.
Stop this, Willie. Phil, are you sure you're going to miss me?
Oh, what a silly question. Of course I am. While you're gone, I won't know how to spend the weekend. I'll be lost.
Oh, Willie, did you hear what Phil said?
Yes, he said he's planning on spending a lost weekend.
Willie, you're being a nasty little man. One more crack like that and I shall retaliate.
You won't dare strike me.
I'll do worse than that. The next time you have an angel food cake in the oven, I'll stomp on the kitchen floor. Look, don't worry about me, Alice. I'm going to be working over the weekend anyway. In fact, I'm having the band over tonight to rehearse some classical numbers.
Classical numbers?
Yeah, you know, stuff like Beethoven's Fifth and Schubert's Moonshine Sonata.
Oh, well, as long as the boys are just coming over here to work and not to play poker all night, okay.
Oh, you know we wouldn't do that. We would... Uh-oh, come in. Alice, I assure you that the boys are just coming over to work.
Mr. Harris, I got the stuff you ordered for tonight.
What stuff?
Carton of ice cubes, 4 fresh stacks, 2 cases...
Wrong house! Get out! Get away! Come back later.
So you and the boys are going to work tonight, huh?
Yes.
And what are the cards for?
Oh, the cards. Oh, yeah, the cards. Well, they're card stunts like they have at a football game. You see, the musicians will hold the cards up in front of them, and it will form a full head of Petrillo. With teeth.
Oh, I see.
I wish my old lady was that gullible.
Now, Phil, the card stunts might make sense, but do me a favor. Explain the ice cubes.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm anxious to hear this one myself.
We use the ice cubes for sound effects.
Oh, I see.
I don't. Explain it, Bud. Explain it.
All right. We just happened to be going to rehearse first the waters of the Minnetonka. And in order to get the proper effect, we have Remley breathe on the cubes, and when they melt, we get a dripping sound.
Phil, I have to hand it to you. That's not bad.
It ain't good.
Just one more thing, darling. What's in those 2 cases?
The case. The one on the left is the case of clarinet reeds for the woodwind section.
Since when do reeds come in bottles?
Oh, honey, don't be silly. It's the newest thing. It keeps them airtight and fresh. Isn't that right, mister?
Oh, yeah. You see what it says on the bottle, lady? Lager Reeds. The reeds that made Milwaukee famous.
Thanks, mister. I appreciate it.
Yeah, don't mention it. Yeah, I got a nosy wife myself.
Phil, Well, that's a case of beer, and I doubt if you can explain that.
I bet I can.
I'll bet you can't.
I'll take part of that bet, lady. This guy is pretty good.
Dude, I guarantee I can explain the beer. And I say now, the beer. Well, that's for the woodwind section. They dip their reeds in to soften them up.
And now tell me, what's in the other case?
That's something to soften up the brass section. Now, are there any other questions?
Yeah. What do you want me to do with the 6 dames I got in the truck?
Now, that I didn't order.
I know, but just for fun, let's see how you get out of that one. Excuse like that for my old lady.
Will you get out of here? Look, honey, please, why don't you and Willie go upstairs and start the packing, will you? Go ahead, I'll answer that door. Hey, hiya, Frankie.
Hey, Curly, I'm raffling off a turkey for Thanksgiving. Can I put you down for 10 tickets at $1 apiece?
Well, I don't know. That's a little high for a turkey raffle.
Well, seeing you're my best friend, I'll tell you what. I'll sell them to you at half price, 50 cents apiece.
Okay.
Here's the tickets.
Here's the money.
Thanks. Too bad you didn't win.
What do you mean I didn't win? Wait till I hold a raffle, will you? Now, when is the winner going to be picked?
Last night.
Serves me right. I should have known better than to get roped on something that you're selling. Who's the guy that ran this raffle?
By some strange coincidence, it was me.
Uh-huh. And who picked the winning number?
By an even stranger coincidence, I did.
And who won the turkey?
Any more stupid questions?
Look, I don't understand you, Remley. How can you do a thing like that?
I didn't do it for me. I did it for you and Alice. You've been inviting me over for Thanksgiving dinner every year, so this year I'm going to supply the turkey.
That's very nice of you, Frankie, but Alice already bought a turkey for Thanksgiving, and we've already got it. It's in the freezer.
All right, we'll save that one for Christmas. Let me surprise Alice with my turkey. I got it out in the car. I'll go get it.
All right, go get it. Do you need me to help you?
No, you stay here and sing.
Frankie. Ooh, you're asking me to sing.
Well, why not? I'll be outside and won't hear it anyway. Go ahead.
Let's choo-choo-choo-choo-choo-choo to Idaho. Come on, let's go. Let's choo-choo-choo to Idaho. So, Mr. Engineer, let's hear that whistle blow to let them know we're on our way to Idaho. Hey there, fella, soon we'll be in Pocatello and then Sun Valley. According to my Rand McNally, tell the folks back home in Shy, tell them toodaloo goodbye. Let's choo-choo-choo-choo-choo-choo to Idaho. What a trip, it's terrific on that Union Pacific. What a change from those covered wagon days. If those old 49ers had these up-to-date streamliners, they'd commute clear from Butte to Iowa. So hey there, fella, here we go through Pocatello and there's Sun Valley. According to my Rand McNally, tell the folks back home in Shy, tell them toodaloo goodbye. Let's choo-choo-choo-choo-choo-choo to Idaho. Well, pardon me, folks, but if you ain't observed, I'd like to announce that our dinner's served, and glancing at the menu, I am proud to say the chef is really cooking up a mess today. The full-course dinner is a work of art, and I most highly recommends our a la carte. The dining car is open and it's straight ahead. The first one there is the first one fed. Now, it's the custom here, though it ain't the rule, that if you wait, then you wait in the vestibule. And folks on the couch that we aim to please, we're the latest and the greatest in facilities. I just got word from the engineer. The green light is shining and the track is clear. We breaking every record and I ain't surprised, 'cause she's a mighty locomotive and she's dieselized. From east to west, from coast to coast, the Union Pacific is the foremost. So hey there, porter, When we pass Nebraska's border, get my suits out. Lay my shirts and western boots out. If I'm going west today, might as well go all the way. Yippee-I-O, let's choo-choo-choo to Idaho. Come on, let's go. Let's choo-choo-choo to Idaho. Come on, let's go. Let's choo-choo-choo to Idaho.
Hey, Curly, is it all clear in there? You through singing?
Yeah, just finished. You can come on in.
Well, here she is. How do you like her?
How do you do, miss? I'm always glad to meet a girlfriend of Frankie. Now then, where's the turkey?
Don't be a wise guy. This is the turkey.
Oh. With your girlfriends, it's kind of hard to tell. The last one you had looked like a unicorn.
She did not look like a unicorn. Just seemed that way because her head came to a point.
All right, Remley, look, will you listen to that? We can't keep a live turkey in the house. Get old Tom out of here.
Curly, please, don't call her old Tom. Charmaine happens to be a lady.
Charmaine? Ooh la la, a French turkey yet, huh?
She's very sensitive. You better apologize to her.
Oh, by all means, I shall. I beg your pardon, madame.
Mademoiselle. She's not married yet.
Well, propose to her and get her out of my house. Look, if Alice sees a live turkey in her living room, she'll yell blue murder. You can't keep a thing.
She doesn't have to see her. We'll hide Charmaine in the closet until after Alice leaves. We'll surprise her when she gets back from Palm Springs.
All right, anything. Come on, Frenchie. Now get in there. Look, Frankie. Oh, listen to that. We'd better tie her up and gag her so she won't make any noise. Now come on and get in there and help me and close that closet door so nobody overhears. It's you and a live turkey.
Well, Willie, I guess I'm all packed. Will you ask Phil to help carry the suitcases to the car?
Very well, Alice. I'll get him. If I were Alice, I wouldn't trust Philip home alone. He needs a keeper. He's nothing but a middle-aged juvenile delinquent. Philip, Alice wants you to come out to... Well, that's funny. I could have sworn he was here in the living room.
I never
Somebody's in that closet. I wonder who it is. I'll just sneak up and listen.
Hey, Curly, will she be all right in here? She won't smother, will she?
Nah. She'll be all right. Now, look, Charmaine, don't make a fuss, and we'll let you out as soon as my wife leaves.
Charmaine? He's got a woman in there.
Charmaine, will you please stop squirming like that and leave... Ouch! Remley, she bit me.
She's a wild one, too. I'm going to put a stop to this right now. I'm going upstairs and tell Alice he has a woman in the house.
Hey, Curly, I think I heard somebody out there. It sounded like Willie.
Oh, blabbermouth. Certainly, he'll run right up and tell Alice and spoil our surprise. Look, we better hide that turkey in the den. Now, come on, Charmaine. Get out. Come on.
Oh, Alice, have I got something to tell you? Wait till you hear this.
Well, calm yourself and tell me. What is it?
Alice, I'm not one to start trouble between you and your husband. But it gives me a great deal of pleasure to inform you that Philip is unfaithful.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Philip has a French hussy named Charmaine hidden in the living room closet.
Oh, Willie, stop being ridiculous.
If you don't believe me, look in the closet yourself.
I have no intention of looking in the closet.
But, sis, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for 9 years. This is our chance to divorce the old cotton ball.
Now, Willie, I want you to stop trying to come between Phil and me with your wild stories. I'm going downstairs and say goodbye to Phil.
Do me a favor, Alice, and look in that closet.
I will not. I trust Phil implicitly. Some wives would be suspicious, but I'm not that kind. I'd no more think of snooping around.
Oh, there you are, Alice. Hi, you all ready to go?
Yes, dear. I just came in to say goodbye.
Well, so long, honey.
Have a nice time, dear.
Remley, let go of her. Take care of yourself, dear. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye now.
Now, how did I ever happen to walk into this closet?
It's a natural mistake. You've only been living here 9 years. How should you know where the front door is?
Well, so long, fellas.
Yeah, so long. Bye. Alice, the door ain't behind the curtains either.
Oh, I'm a little confused. Well, so long.
Curly, what's she doing under the couch?
Kissing her mother goodbye. Short chain.
Hello.
Hey, Alice, what are you looking under that couch for?
Oh, is this the couch? I guess I'm getting nearsighted. Well, bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Hey, she finally found the door.
Yeah, this kid knows what she's doing every minute. Oh, what now? What can it... All right, come in.
Mr. Harris, my name is Homer Feinschreiber, and I just flew all the way out here from Altoona,
Feinschreiber?
Pennsylvania. I run a pool room back there. I'm a nice guy. I mind my own business. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce, but the last few days, my wife has been driving me crazy. She's hysterical.
Well, I can't-
She just lays there in bed and screams at me. She won't get up and cook my meals. She won't iron my shirts.
I've got my
The other morning, she leaned down and kicked my youngest son, Wilbur.
Well,
that's going too far.
I don't know.
But it's all on account of you.
Well, I can't...
You don't know me. I have no right to come breaking into your beautiful home like this, but you've got to tell me something so I can go back and tell my wife, Mr. Harris, what is the thing?
Look, buddy, I'm a busy man. I don't know what I did. Look, go back and tell your wife that the thing is...
Mr. Harris, I'm sorry. I didn't realize your wife was rehearsing her song.
Look, Remley, I got live turkeys, people breaking in from Altoona. What are you trying to do to me? I can't stand all this trouble. Why don't you take that turkey of yours and give it to somebody else? After all, I told you, we got a turkey in the freezer.
Yeah, but I'll bet the turkey Alice bought ain't as good as mine.
It looks pretty good to me.
What do you know about turkeys? I'll look in the freezer, and if that bird isn't as good as mine, we'll keep Charmaine and get rid of yours.
All right, go ahead and look at it. All this darn fuss over a turkey.
Just as I thought I knew I'd catch you with a whoa. Oh, you're all alone.
That'd have been a lot bigger laugh if you'd have waited for the door to open. But as long as you're here, what now?
Oh, before I go, dear, there's something I want to say.
Well, say it, will you? What are you waiting for?
For the band to pick up their instruments.
Oh.
Bye-bye, baby. Remember you're my baby when they give you the eye. And just to show that I care, I will write and declare that I'm on the loose, but I'll stay on the square. I'll be lonely, but even though I'm lonely, there'll be no other guy. Though I'll be gone for a while, I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by.
Bye-bye, baby. Remember your baby, when they give you the eye.
Although I know that you care, won't you write and declare that though on the loose, you are still on the square?
I'll be lonely, but send that rainbow to me, then my shadows will fly. Though I'll be gone for a while, I know that I'll be smiling with my baby by and by.
Hey, Alice, that was wonderful. You have a remarkable voice.
She certainly has. It's amazing how much she sounds like a quartet at times.
Well, I guess I'm ready to go now.
Yeah, well, go already.
Well, bye.
Goodbye. Bye.
They certainly were anxious to get rid of me. I wonder if he does have a woman. No. I know he hasn't, but just to make sure, I'll sneak back and listen. I'll make believe I'm going out the front door. Now, to tiptoe back and see just what's going on.
I thought that wife of yours would never leave, Curly.
Yeah.
You think she suspects anything?
No. How could she possibly know anything about Charmaine?
He does have a woman in the house.
Well, Frankie, look, after comparing the two, what do you think? Should I keep Charmaine?
Naturally. There's no comparison between Charmaine and that old hen you got.
Old hen? I'm only 29 and a half.
Besides, Charmaine is nice and plump.
The old hen I got's pretty fat, too.
I put on a half a pound and right away I'm a tub.
Look, Frankie, maybe I ought to keep the one I got.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Charmaine is young. That one you got has seen better days.
True.
Besides, I pinched them both, and Charmaine has a lot more meat on her.
I don't know about Charmaine, but he's never laid a hand on me.
All right, Remley, look, I'll keep Charmaine. I got to admit, she looks a lot more tender.
If Charmaine had 2 children, she wouldn't be so tender either.
Hey, wait a minute, Frankie. If I do keep Charmaine, what am I going to do with my old turkey?
Give her away to some charity. Give her to the Musicians Union.
Musicians Union? Do you think they'd take her?
They'll take anything.
That does it. Calling me a turkey. If he wants to get rid of me, he can. I'll go upstairs and pack the rest of my things and leave him for good. I'll show him he can't talk
Hey, Miss Faye, I brought it. Why, Miss Faye is just crying. What's wrong?
Oh, Julius, it's Mr. Harris. He's brought another woman named Charmaine into the house.
Another woman? Ah, Miss Faye, let's keep our heads. Do you honestly think your husband is the kind of a heel who would bring another woman into your own home? Do you honestly think that?
Well, no, I don't.
I do. Have you seen the Charmaine dame?
No, I haven't, and I don't want to. I heard Frankie and Mr. Harris talking about her, and I'm leaving.
Now,
him.
wait a minute, Miss Faye. Don't be hasty. This might all be a misunderstanding. Before you decide to leave Mr. Harris, you should take a lot of time to think this over.
Well, maybe
Time's up! Go upstairs and start packing. On your way before you change your mind.
I'm going upstairs and start packing right now. I heard him planning to get rid of me.
Ooh, that beast. I wonder how he's planning on getting rid of Miss Faye. Is he going to divorce her or just throw her out in the street?
I don't know why I ever got a thing in the
Uh-oh,
first place.
here he comes. I'll just duck behind here and maybe I can overhear his plans.
Well, Curly, as long as you decided to keep Charmaine and get rid of the other hen, let's make plans.
Yeah. I don't want to run around the house alive.
When is Alice coming back to Palm Springs?
Wednesday night.
Good. I'll bring the axe over Wednesday morning.
Axe? Them cold-blooded murderers is gonna kill her.
Frankie, I can't use an axe on her. That's too cruel.
Well, I'm glad to see he has some decency.
Let's tie her to a stake and fill her full of buckshot.
Oh, I hope they at least blindfold her.
Curly, I don't like the buckshot idea.
Why not?
Some of the pellets might get in our teeth when we eat her.
Peter! This is more than I can stand. Stop where you are, you cannibals!
Julius, what are you doing in here?
I overheard you planning to kill Miss Faye.
What are you talking about, killing Miss Faye? We're going to kill Charmaine.
Oh, you tire of them fast, don't you? What are you killing her for?
So we can have her for Thanksgiving dinner?
Can't afford a turkey, huh?
Oh, be quiet, will you, kid? Hey, Curly, I got an idea. When we bring Charmaine in for dinner Thursday, I think Alice would like it if we dressed her first.
Look, Remley, that's going to be too much trouble. Now, let's bring her in undressed.
The least you can do is put a kimono on her.
A kimono on Charmaine?
All right, then. Make it a French bathing suit.
Oh, kid, why don't you leave her?
That wouldn't look nice. Her pin feathers would stick out.
This dame has pin feathers?
Oh, Julius, will you stop already? What, dame? Charmaine is a turkey.
A likely story.
We can prove it. She's right here in the den. I'll show you.
I'll be darned, it is a turkey. This upsets all my plans.
What are you talking about, plans? Plans? What do you mean, plans?
Miss Faye overheard you talking and thought you had a dame here. She's upstairs packing to leave you.
Leave me? Oh, no. Come on, Frankie. We got to explain this to Alice. You and that turkey.
Ah, nuts. This'll ruin everything. Miss Faye expects to find a French dame. Now, when she opens the door, she'll only find a turkey. Or will she? A quick phone call might keep this ugly mess an ugly mess.
Alice, will you please believe me? For the 10th time, I tell you Charmaine is a turkey.
How do I know you're telling me the truth?
I'll open the door to the den and you'll see that it's a turkey. Now, there you are, Alice. This is our turkey. Gobble for my wife, Charmaine.
Gaboo, gaboo, gaboo.
I demand a recount. Oh, no.
Well, look what our little turkey has grown up into. Yum, yum, yum.
So this is your idea of a turkey, huh?
But, honey, when I put her in there, she was a turkey. She must have come out of her cocoon or something. I never saw this dame before.
Oh, Sherry, how can you say that about your little Charmaine? You like me, do you not? Hmm?
Look, lady, I got no time for that right now. How'd you get in here? Who put you in this room? Oh, Julius, grab him, Frankie. We'll have him for Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay, you tear his drumsticks off and I'll
stuff him. Folks, starting today, our program has wonderful news. Listen to this, the Hedda Hopper Show. Hedda's guests tonight are Mr. and Mrs. Ronald Coleman, Mario Lanza, Andy Devine, and Arlene Dahl. It's the Hedda Hopper column come to life. Stay tuned for it, and best wishes, Hedda, from Alice and me.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
This program was produced and directed by Paul Phillips.
And timed right on the money. November 19th, 1950, 73 years ago, Phil Harris and Alice Faye here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Amos and Andy trying to find a turkey, and they're going to get Spring Byington to help them. That's coming up next. But first...
Alert Americans will heed history's lessons. Throughout history, surprise has had a leading role in military disasters. Today, an enemy capable of surprise air attack could leave chaos in his wake.
That's why you should be in the Civilian Ground Observer Corps, volunteering a few hours a week to guard our skies. Be a ground observer. Contact your local civilian defense office.
When Amos and Andy went from a quarter-hour serial to a once-a-week 30-minute show, NBC decided that they wanted to bring in guest stars. And so that's what you're going to hear here from an early episode of Amos and Andy, and this episode from 80 years ago, November 19th, 1943. You have Spring Byington as the guest in an episode entitled Turkey Trouble.
Good evening. The makers of the new Rinso bring you the Amos and Andy Show with their guest tonight, the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer star currently appearing in Heavenly Body, Miss Spring Byington. Andrew H. Brown rarely has anything to look forward to. However, this happens to be one of those occasions when he can hardly wait for the day to arrive. His nephew, Jimmy, a member of the armed forces, is coming to New York to spend his furlough with his Uncle Andy. At the moment, the proud uncle is in his office reading Jimmy's letter to Andy.
Listen to this part of the letter, Amos.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
He say here, and so I will arrive in New York sometime Thanksgiving morning and will come right to your place. I sure will be happy to see you, Uncle Andy. Give my regards to your friend Amos, your loving nephew, Jimmy.
Oh, that's great. He's coming up to New York for Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, that's nice, Andy.
Yeah, and look here. He done sent me his picture here in his uniform.
Oh, let me see that. Boy, he's certainly good looking, all right.
Sure is. Everybody say he looks exactly like me.
Tell me this, Andy. Is you going to give your nephew a nice Thanksgiving dinner?
Well, now, that's exactly what I want to talk to you about.
Uh-huh.
I is pretty proud of that boy, Amos.
Oh, I know you is, Andy.
And now, look here. You see, I live in one room, and I ain't got no stove or nothing. I ain't got no way of cooking no big Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, I know.
And I kind of hate to ask you this, but,
Go ahead.
Well, I was wondering if you would put on the dinner at your place. I'd buy the turkey and pay for everything. You see, Amos, it's just on account of my nephew. I'm kind of proud of him, and I want to do it right.
Oh, sure, Andy. Sure we'll do it.
Oh, that sure is nice of you, Amos. I really appreciate that. And I know Jimmy will, too. Yeah, I'm going to write him and tell him that we're going to have a big Thanksgiving dinner for him with turkey and everything.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Andy, Thanksgiving Day is a week from yesterday, and I hear that turkeys is pretty scarce.
Oh, I'll get one all right, Amos. Don't worry. The Kingfish say that he's going to take me over to see his butcher.
I thought the Kingfish and his butcher wasn't speaking to each other.
Well, they wasn't, but the Kingfish made up with him at the beginning of the turkey season.
Well, now, all you got to do, Andy, is to get the turkey, and me and Ruby will take care of everything else.
Oh, that's great. Put it there, son.
Well, hello there, boys. How is you?
Yeah.
Well, hello there, Kingfish. We're just talking about you.
Who you was, huh? Speaking of the loving Kingfish.
By the way, did you see the picture of Andy's nephew, Jimmy?
Yeah, look here. Here it is right here. He look pretty good, don't he? He's my nephew on my mama and papa side.
Yeah, nice picture here. He's a private already, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kingfish, Andy's nephew is coming up here for Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, and I want to get a turkey for him. Kingfish, I want you to take me over to your butcher like you said you would.
Oh, anytime at all, Brother Andy. Yeah, I'll go with you now.
Okay, that's good. By the way, do you know anything about how to pick out a good turkey, Kingfish?
Yeah, sure I do. Brother Andy, whenever I picks out a turkey, I always kind of feels around the legs there. That's important.
Tis, huh?
Oh, yeah, you take an athlete. Now, when he runs and exercises and all that stuff, he gets hard and tough. So the idea in picking out a turkey
is to get one that has done led a lazy life.
Well, Kingfish, I got just one turkey left.
Yeah, let us take a look at it, Carl. It's for my friend here, Mr. Brown. He got a nephew coming home from the army on Thanksgiving, and he wants to get a nice tender bird.
Yeah. How much did that turkey weigh that you has got there, mister?
Oh, about 14 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's it right up there on that hook. Last one left.
Boy, that looked good, all right.
Put it down here on the counter, Carl, so I can examine it.
Yeah, sure will. Yeah, yeah, sir.
Now, let me see here. I want to feel around his legs here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This turkey has done a lot of running, didn't he?
That's prime turkey, and the only one I got left. You're lucky to get it.
Yeah, I think I'll take it, Kingfish.
Now, wait a minute, Andy. Keep your big mouth shut. Wait just a minute. Don't let's rush into the thing. Let me feel the turkey's wings here. Mm-hmm. Done a lot of flying, too, didn't it, Carl?
To tell you the truth, Kingfish, I don't know. I just met the bird 3 days ago.
Well, I'm going to take it, Kingfish.
Andy, will you please wait a minute? I'm just trying to help you here. Turn the turkey over on the other side, will you, Carl?
Yeah.
You know, Andy, I don't like the shape of this turkey's back.
Look here, Kingfish. We ain't buying for its figure.
Yeah, but all them things count.
Excuse me a second, boys. I want to go out in front and raise the awning up.
All right, Carl.
Listen, Kingfish.
Wait a minute. Come on down here, Andy, so we can talk. I don't want this other butcher down the other end to hear us.
Well, Kingfish, why can't I buy that turkey?
Now, look, Andy. Do whatever you want to do. It's your money. I just try to help you. I try to give you the benefit of my long turkey experiences.
It's a good turkey, though, ain't it?
Well, yeah, it's a good turkey, Andy, but I like to check and double-check the thing to make sure.
Well, if you think the turkey is all right, why is we hemming and hawing round here?
Listen, Andy, it's just like when a fella is figuring on marrying some gal. She might look nice and pretty and look good in clothes and all that stuff. At the same time, you want to get a look in her mouth to make sure that you ain't go run into $50 or $100 worth of dental work. And we just want to make sure that we're getting a good turkey, too.
Well, I'm going to buy it, Kingfish.
Okay, then, Andy. I don't think you can go wrong.
Say, Carl, I'll take that turkey.
All right. I'll put it on the scale. Hey, wait a minute. Say, Joe, what'd you do with that turkey that was right here?
Well, I just sold it to that man going out the door there.
Well,
Kingfish, what would you charge to stop helping me?
Well, I'm sorry you boys missed your chance of that turkey, but I guess Joe didn't know you was thinking about buying it.
Come on, Andy. We'll go to a good butcher shop. Listen, Carl, if this is the way that you want to treat an old customer that has paid up to last July, it's okay with me.
Sorry, gentlemen, we haven't had a turkey in here in 10 days. We got a mailing list a mile long.
No turkeys, huh?
Not a chance. We don't expect any more turkeys until after the first of the year, and maybe not then.
Turkeys? Are you kidding?
Yes, Henry, there just ain't a turkey for sale in the whole town.
Yes, I know. Mrs. Van Porter was saying at breakfast this morning that the turkey situation is cute. But I didn't know it was cute as that.
Yeah, well, I could have got one, but this part-time genius here, the Kingfish, helped me so much I didn't get it.
Considering the source of that remark, I'm going to disignore the whole thing.
Please, boys, please, let's not have no fights. After all, we is all civilized gentlemen, you know.
Come in, Lightning, come in.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Lightning.
I thought I'd find you fellas over here at Miss Andy's office. Miss Andy, this letter come for you over at the Lodge Hall, and I thought it might be something important.
Oh, thank you, Lightning. Well, here's from Jimmy.
Oh, it is, huh? What do we say, Andy?
Yes, what is in it?
Say, dear Uncle Andy, I don't have time to write much, but there is a buddy of mine here at camp who lives too far away to go home and visit his folks for Thanksgiving. I took the liberty of asking him to come up to New York with me and have Thanksgiving turkey dinner with us. I hope this will be okay with you. Your loving nephew, Jimmy. Well, fellas, I really got to get a turkey someplace. I ain't going to let them two boys down.
Yeah, sounds like they're counting on turkey already. Gee, Andy, I wish I knew how to help you.
Yeah.
I wonder if there would be anything in getting a couple of chickens and tell your nephew that the turkeys is running small this year.
Well, another thing, I'd have to tell him that the turkey this year tastes like chickens, too.
Yeah, I guess you would.
Say, boys, I just had a thought here.
Oh, what was that, Henry?
Well, Andy, I wonder if there's any chance of you getting the priority on the turkey.
Priority?
Yes, I know that the Army has took a lot of turkeys this year, which is as it should be. But it just occurred to me that as long as you was getting the turkey for your nephew and his friend, who was in the Army, you might be able to get a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Say, yeah, that's worth trying. Where would I go?
Well, I know that there's a special priority board downtown that handles the unusual things like that. I has had occasion to go there myself. Ask for a Miss Spring Byington.
Come on, Kingfish. We is going down there right now.
Did you wish to see me?
Is you Miss Spring Byington?
That's right. Can I help you?
Yes. Tell Miss Byington the whole story, Andy.
Yeah, I'll start at the beginning. Mm-hmm. The reason we come down to the rationing boat here is on account of my nephew. You see, he's in the Army, and he's coming home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, isn't that nice? I was just saying to my husband this morning that I wish Harry, he's our nephew, was coming home for Thanksgiving. He's in a camp in the Middle West. But if it can't be, it can't be.
That's right. Now, what I want to explain to you...
On the other hand, Philip, that's my sister's son. He's stationed in Georgia. Oh, a lovely boy. He looks a lot like my sister Elaine.
Yeah, that's good, all right.
Go ahead, Andy. Tell Miss Byington what you want to tell her.
Yeah, I'll begin at the beginning. You see, my nephew is in the Army, and he's coming home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, really? Isn't that nice?
Huh?
I know how happy you must be. You know, I have a nephew, too.
Yes, we know. He lives in the Middle West, and he can't get home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, you know him.
And start at the beginning again, will you?
Well, this nephew and his buddy is coming home for Thanksgiving, and I want to give him a big dinner.
Yeah, and we want you to help us if you can.
Why, of course I will. Now, I'd suggest that the first thing you do is to get a turkey.
That's what we want to see you about. You see, we ain't got no turkey.
Well, if I were you, I'd hurry up and get one. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I understand they're getting scarce.
We hear the same rumor, yeah.
Excuse me, Miss Byington, but we can get priorities here, can't we?
Oh, yes, indeed. That's what we're here for.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
Mm-hmm. What kind of a priority was it you wanted? Tires or extra gasoline?
And do you think we is too far from the beginning to go back there again?
Well, we can try going back there once more. You see, my nephew is in the Army, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, really? Are you going to have a turkey dinner for him?
Not at the rate we're going, lady, no.
You see, like I said before, that's what we come in to see you about. We can't get one in the whole city, Miss Byington, and you see... This dinner is for a couple of soldiers, and that's why we're trying to get a priority from the government on it. You see, we got all the trimmings, but the trouble is we ain't got nothing to trim.
A priority on a turkey?
Yeah, it's our only chance of getting one. We done scarred the whole town. And I promise you that I won't eat none of the turkey myself. I might dip my bread in the gravy, but that's all.
Well, this is the first request we've had like this. I'd like to help. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll call up regional headquarters and see what they say about it.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it if you would.
You might fill out this application blank in the meantime, just in case.
Okay. Name. I guess I better put Amos Jones' name and address down, too, because that's where we're going to have the dinner.
That'll be fine.
Regional headquarters?
Oh, Dorothy, this is Spring.
Oh, hello, Spring.
I called you last night. You weren't home, you little stay out.
Jeanette and I went over to that millinery class. I'm making the most stunning hat you ever saw.
Oh, you're making me so jealous. I need a hat so badly for my new coat. What kind are you making, Dorothy?
Oh, it's sort of an idea of my own. It's an off-the-face turban.
Oh, that should be gorgeous. Especially with your hair. Oh, anything else new?
No, except that I'm going over to Clara's Sunday afternoon. You going?
Well, I don't know whether Frank's going to play golf or not, but I'll be talking to you before that. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
If there's anything that annoys me, it's some woman calling me when I'm busy and just talking about nothing. Now, where were we?
You called her.
I called her.
You was going to ask her if there was some way that we could get a priority on a turkey.
Well, how do you like that? She hung up without telling me.
You didn't ask her.
I didn't? Oh, I suppose it's my fault. But it's just that girl talks so incessantly and rambles on. What now? Hello?
Spring, this is Dorothy again. You didn't tell me what you called me up for.
Oh, I'm glad you called back, Dorothy. Listen, can we give out a priority order for a turkey?
Well, not that I know of. At least I've never heard of it.
Well, if anybody would know about it, it would be you.
Well, I've never heard of it since I've been here.
Well, that's all I want to know. Thanks, Dorothy.
Goodbye.
I'm awfully sorry, but there just is no such thing.
Yeah, well, thanks anyway, Miss Byington. We sure appreciate what you try to do for us.
I guess the boys will just have to get along without gasoline. I mean, without a turkey. Goodbye.
No luck at the ration board, huh, fellas?
No, Amos, nothing. And we even went to 6 more butcher shops and still couldn't get none.
Yes, Amos, I'm going to tell you, I know my way around Harlem here, and I know all the ropes. But I tell you, I just about to give up the thing.
Say, I was just wondering, is there any place where we could get a wild turkey, maybe?
Oh, Andy, there ain't no wild turkeys around here. What you talking about? You know, them pilgrims got all of them.
They did, huh?
Sure they did.
Well, tell me this. Does you know a pilgrim that we could call up?
Oh, Andy, that was years and years ago, Andy. By the way, did you see that letter on your desk there that come for you?
Oh, no. Hey, looky here. There's another letter from Jimmy.
Oh, it is, huh?
Oh, say, maybe his friend ain't coming. Mm-hmm. Then if Jimmy comes up here alone, I can take him out to dinner.
Yeah. Now. Go ahead and read it then, Andy.
Yeah. Dear Uncle Andy, I want to tell you that
Now, what do you say, Andy?
He's bringing 3 more fellas.
Andy, what time did Jimmy say that him and his friends would get here?
Well, he say sometime around noon. So I guess they won't be here for an hour or maybe an hour and a half yet. Is it anything else you need, Ruby? I'll go down to the store and get it.
No, Andy, I think we have everything. And I think it's going to be a pretty nice dinner, too.
Yeah, well, I bought everything I could think of.
I know you did, Andy. And I'm going to fix everything just as good as I know how.
Oh, yeah. There ain't no question about that, Ruby. I know that. You is a wonderful cook. But there ain't nobody that can make frankfurters take like turkey.
Oh, but I think that the boys will enjoy their dinner.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. That can't be Jimmy. It's too early for Jimmy.
It might be for me. I'll get it, Amos.
Is there a Mr. Brown here?
Yes. Yes, won't you come in? Andy, there's a lady to see you.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
Oh, hello there. Hello. You is the lady from the ration boat, ain't you?
That's right, and I have a turkey for you. Here.
Oh, a turkey for me?
Yes. You see, we ordered our own turkey about a month ago, and this morning some friends of ours dropped in and gave us a turkey from their farm, and I want you to have it.
Well, gee, I couldn't...
And fortunately, I had this address, that you put on the priority blank, remember? Well, happy Thanksgiving.
Well, I don't know how to thank you. I wouldn't take the thing for myself, but on account of my nephew and his soldier friends coming, it'll sure make it nice for them. How much do I owe you for it?
Oh, you don't owe me anything. It didn't cost me anything. I'm not in the turkey business.
Oh, well, this sure is nice of you, lady.
Yes, it sure is wonderful.
Oh, go on. Well, I've got to run along now and start cooking my own dinner. Goodbye again.
Goodbye.
That sure was sweet of that lady.
Yeah. Now I'll really be able to give them a Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, boy, am I happy.
That turkey sure looks good, don't it? Look at there.
Boy, that turkey sure smell good, too.
Yeah, tell me this, Ruby. When is you going to take it out of the oven?
Oh, it's got about an hour to go yet. I hope the boys get here on time.
Yeah. Look at it there, Amos. Just look at that thing.
Yeah, that's something all right, ain't it?
Yeah. Looky right there. See how it kind of browning up on the breast there? Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. This is getting brown, ain't it?
Oh, boy, wouldn't that turkey be proud if he could see himself right now?
I just got to baste it a little more here.
Yeah.
Look at that gravy going over that breast.
I wonder why they don't make perfume out of that stuff. You know, Amos, that must be them now. Now remember, do just like we said.
Okay, come on now, Ruby, come on.
Yeah, and just when I put my hand on the doorknob, we starts the thing. You ready?
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving. Oh.
I've got a special delivery letter for Mr. Brown.
For me?
Yeah. Sign right there.
Oh, yes, sir.
At the lodge hall, they told me you were over here.
Thank you.
Okay.
What's the matter, Andy? You look sad.
What is it, Andy?
Yeah, well, I is sad, Amos. But I is proud, too.
What do it say, Andy?
It's from Jimmy.
Yes, huh?
Will not be able to come to New York. Neither will the other boys. We are leaving for a port of embarkation. By the time you get this, we will no doubt be on our way overseas. Love, Jimmy.
You can really be proud of that boy, Andy.
Yeah. God bless him. I sure hope he has a safe trip. How many guests did you invite over here for the turkey dinner, Andy?
7 of them.
Who all did you invite?
I don't know their names. Just 7 boys from the USO.
Join us again next week at this same time for the Amos and Andy Show, at which time Amos and Andy will have as their guest the fine picture character actor, Mr. Donald Meek. Our program is shortwave to our armed forces overseas, wherever they may be. This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for all of us and thanking the charming MGM star, Miss Spring Byington, for appearing with us tonight. One more thing before we say goodnight. A reminder that you ladies personally can save the lives of many of our fighting men without budging a step out of your kitchens. Just remember, the waste fats and greases you can save will be made into ammunition and precious sulfa drugs. But no matter how much you save, those waste fats and greases won't do anyone a bit of good until you sell them to your dealer. So don't let them hang around the kitchen. Once you've filled a can, take it right to your meat dealer. The need is so urgent that within 3 weeks, the waste fats and greases you turn in are at the munitions plant. Put them into any kind of tin can. Save those waste fats. Thank you, and good night.
November 19th, 1943, a wartime Thanksgiving, 80 years ago. Amos and Andy here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Tomorrow at this time, crime. Casey Crime Photographer, Broadway is my beat. And we'll have some Western adventure with Gunsmoke and Have Gun Will Travel. And, of course, we'll top it off with an episode of Lum and Abner. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, and we'll continue following these words.
Aunt Cora, I'd like you to meet my fiancé.
I've heard so much about you from Harold, Aunt Cora. You're his favorite aunt.
Suppose he also mentioned I was his richest aunt.
Aunt Cora, please.
Never mind. So you saved enough money to get married, have you, Harold?
I've tried.
I've tried. Not good enough. Ever think of saving money on your income taxes?
Save money on income tax?
That's right, Missy. Get some free IRS publications. Lots of money-saving ideas there, like income averaging if your income shoots up, tax credits, deducting some interest expenses.
I had no idea.
Of course you didn't. Well, no mind, you'll learn. I hope. Here, take this envelope. A little something from your Aunt Cora to get you two started.
Aunt Cora, you really didn't. Publications from the IRS?
Money-saving ideas. Use the order form in your tax package for more money-saving IRS publications. They're free.
But
no need to thank me. After all, what are relatives for?
A message from the IRS.
Now on Classic Radio Theater, we're going to have another episode of the Old Gold Comedy Theater. Harold Lloyd, the screen star, hosting this show from November 19th, 1944, 79 years ago, wartime again. And this episode entitled The Vivacious Lady.
From Hollywood, California, the makers of Old Gold cigarettes present The Comedy Theater, the only radio program that brings you every week the greatest stars in the greatest comedies. Tonight's play, Vivacious Lady, starring Lee Bowman and Linda Darnell. And here is the director of the Old Gold Comedy Theater, Mr. Harold Lloyd.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All right, cast. On stage, everybody. Everyone here?
Yeah.
Fine. Now, let me see. Do any of you boys know what leptosporangiate means?
Not me.
I can't even say
Never
it.
heard.
Certainly. Breaking down the etymology of the word, we have lepto, meaning delicate, spora, meaning seed, angiate, a case or vessel, that is, leptosporangiate, a seed case which forms from a single delicate cell.
Oh, fine. Good for you, Lee Bowman. You play Peter Morgan III.
Well, that's swell, Harold. But what has leptosporangiate got to do with it, and why Peter Morgan III?
Just a little typecasting, Lee. You see, Peter is a professor of biology at Old Sharon University, where his grandfather, Peter I, was president, and where his father, Peter II, is now president, and where you, Peter III, may be president someday.
Wow, a dynasty.
And how? Now, Jack Edwards, Jr., you play Peter's cousin, Keith Bester.
Thank you, Mr. Lloyd. Is he a professor, too?
Oh, no. He's the black sheep of the family.
Oh, more typecasting, huh?
Well, no, he's not really bad. He just has a couple of bad habits.
He has?
Yes, he likes whiskey and pretty girls.
I do.
So, about twice a year, he runs off to New York and goes on a spree. That's where you come in, Lee. Your father, President Morgan II, sends you to New York to bring Keith back to Old Sharon.
Is there a girl?
Is there? Oh, boy. Take a look.
Oh, she's wonderful. Who is she?
Francie Brant, a nightclub singer, played by Linda Darnell.
Oh, Harold, I think Lee's wonderful, too.
You see, Peter, you've been all over New York for Keith. And finally you find him in the nightclub where Francie sings.
Excuse me, mister.
That's okay, bud.
Excuse me, a waiter. Where did Mr. Bester go?
In there. He said for you to sit down at his table and wait.
Oh, thanks. Excuse me, sir. Can I get through here? Oh, I'm sorry. What happened?
You knocked over the wine cooler.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry.
That's Mr. Bester's table.
Thank you.
That ain't good. Well, hello.
Huh? How do you do?
Well, I was doing all right until you came in. Where's Keith?
He'll be right back.
What's the matter?
Nothing at all. You're the girl he...
That's right. Do you mind if I sit down?
No.
Well, thanks. Say, just what was the idea of trying to kill my song?
Oh, you're the girl who was singing. Oh, I'm sorry. You see, I knocked over the wine cooler.
Oh, well, that's okay. Some drunk does it every night.
Oh, I'm not intoxicated.
No kidding.
No, it's only that... Well, when I was small, my father was driving along one day, and he didn't see me in the street. He was a bit absent-minded about small details, and he ran over me. It wasn't serious, but it was a blow. Well, that's the way I feel now.
You mean like you'd been hit by a truck?
Yes. Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Are you and Keith good friends?
No, I'm his cousin. My name is Morgan, Peter Morgan.
I'm Francie Brent. How do you do?
How do you do?
Mr. Morgan, Mr. Bester told me to tell you he'd gone back to the hotel to pack, and he'd meet you there.
Oh, he did he? Fine.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry, but maybe... Well, what I mean is, are you by any chance hungry?
Oh, I'm starved.
Well, then will you... Well, would you...
Well, yes, but not here. Confidentially, the food's terrible.
And then, I don't come to New York often, so maybe afterwards I can take you around and show you the town.
Well, swell. Let's get going.
Going already, Francie?
Yes, I'm going out to see New York.
To see...
Hey, waiter. Has the guy at my table gone?
Oh, yes, Mr. Bester. He's gone all right.
Good work. Did we ever get rid of him? Oh, boy. Where's Francie?
She went with him.
Oh, boy. Huh?
Yeah, he's showing her New York. Oh, boy.
Well, it certainly sounds as though Peter and Francie may be in for a bit of surprise when they reach Old Sharon.
Well, Mr. Lloyd, I know what happens. You see, I saw a vivacious lady in the movies, and if I remember correctly,
Just a moment, Bob.
What?
Are you one of those who gives the story away in advance?
Well, maybe I am acting like one of those preview pests. You know the type, friends. Just as you're all set to see a certain movie, you meet someone who's seen it before you. And what does he do but tell you all about it from beginning to end? You try to change the subject, but no use. The pest keeps on blabbering, and you're about to pick up a nice heavy rock and slam in one.
Listen, why be irritated? Light an old gold.
Yes, smokers. There's many a time when you're grateful for the comfort and pleasure of a cigarette. But there's no pleasure in a cigarette that's dry and harsh.
So, to help prevent cigarette dryness, Old Gold's fine tobaccos are conditioned with apple honey. The special conditioning process helps hold in the natural moisture.
And there's more pleasure in the taste of Old Gold, too. Its unique blend of many choice tobaccos is enriched with costly imported Latakia tobacco added for extra flavor.
Extra flavor, extra pleasure, plus apple honey, which helps guard against cigarette dryness. That's Old Gold.
So when pesky people begin to plague you, why be irritated? Light an Old Gold. Yes, light an Old Gold and see for yourself why they've tripled in popularity.
Yes, this is Harold Lloyd again. Peter Morgan III, a professor of biology at Old Sharon University, went to New York to rescue his cousin Keith from the clutches of a nightclub singer and ended up taking her out to show her New York. And how he showed her New York. He took her for a long ride on the top of a Fifth Avenue bus, and then they went for a long walk in the park. When they got home, it was dawn, so he took her out to breakfast. Now it's the next night at good old Penn Station, and the train for Old Sharon is just pulling out, and Peter is with Keith in the smoking room.
Keith, wake up. Listen to me. I'm married.
Good. Huh? To whom?
To a girl.
Well, that's nice.
Some people would say it's a miracle, but I know it's just chemistry, of course. Anodes attract cathodes.
How cozy.
We saw one another and our chemicals started to work. I finally came to the conclusion that she was the most wonderful girl in the world.
Poor cathode. What a name for a girl.
Her name's Francie. And look, you'll have to sleep here. We're using your drawing room. I'm taking your ticket. Good night.
All right. Hey, Francie, that's my girl.
Hey, wait a minute, boss. Wait a minute. Take it easy. Lots of other fish in the sea.
I don't want any fish. I want a girl.
Drawing room A. Here it is. You frightened, darling?
No, I'm never going to be frightened again. I've got you to lean on.
Well, I've always tried to be a strong man. In a conservative way, of course.
Going to carry me over the threshold?
Of course, my darling. There. Easy does it. Here we are.
Yes.
Yes, here you are.
Oh.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
That's all right, buddy. I know just how it is.
Just how is it?
Oh, shut up.
Isn't this drawing room A?
That's right.
But our tickets say we have drawing room A.
Yeah, so do ours. Here, take a look.
Well, George, aren't you going to do something about this traffic?
Now, look, dear, why don't you be a nice girl and keep quiet before I pin your big ears back?
You hear that? You're a witness.
I wish you had a mother to go back to.
Say, I'll bet when you grow up you're going to be a nasty old man.
Hey, you. What are you doing?
I'm getting undressed so I can go to bed.
Oh, then come on, Francie. We'll sleep in the lounge car.
By all means.
Well, here we are. All off for Old Sharon. Uh-oh, there's your father, Peter. Hey, he looks kind of calm. I thought he'd be a little bit excited when he heard you were married.
I haven't told him yet.
Oh, fine. Well, save me 2 seats on the 50-yard line.
Well, I thought I ought to prepare him a little. You know how excitable he is on the telephone.
Oh, why limit him? He throws a fit almost any place.
Uh-oh, sounds like I've walked into something.
Oh, you're bound to be a bit of a shock to him, darling. And he's so excitable sometimes, I thought I ought to break it to them kind of gently. Don't you see?
I understand, sure.
Keith will take you over to the Martha Gregory Apartments and find you a place to stay. Then tonight he can bring you to the prom. Dress up. and to be just as beautiful as you are. When they see you, they're bound to fall in love with you. Then we can tell them everything.
Yes, darling. Only I don't know why I should be such a shock. Do you, Keith?
You don't know Peter's father.
Oh.
Well, you run along with Keith, darling. I'll be over to see you later. You get off first.
All right, dear. Come along, Keith. Well, say, the old man doesn't look so ferocious. Who's the girl with him?
Who's... Uh-oh. That would be Helen.
Oh, there's Peter. Peter, darling.
Oh, hello, Helen.
And, who is Helen?
Oh, just someone Peter's engaged to.
Engaged? Why, he's a bigamist.
Well, just in the second degree. You see, Helen's something the old man thought up. Come along.
Now, wait a minute. I've got to give her the once-over. After all, I don't want my husband engaged to just anyone.
I know, but I didn't expect you to allow him to bring her home
Now,
with
Father,
him.
I can explain everything.
Oh, don't worry, Peter. I know it wasn't your fault. Keith's allergic to redheads. Every time he gets near one, he breaks out in a rash.
Just a minute. Keith, will you, wait here just a minute? Professor Morgan.
Yes?
I just mustn't go away without saying goodbye and thanking you for everything. I had such a wonderful time. All I have to do is think of it, and I break out in goose flesh all over. Do you ever break out, Miss?
Not lately.
Well, I'll always think of you, Professor, as my cousin.
Really?
Thank you, Miss Brent.
No, thank you. Goodbye. Keith, wait for me.
I'm sorry, Francie. I saw you come in, but I couldn't get away from Helen.
Oh, darling, I don't want to be old-fashioned, but the way you were holding that girl while you were dancing.
As a matter of fact, she was holding me.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you sit right here in the patio. The folks will come in this way. Oh, that's it. Only hold up your head like you did the first time I saw you. There. Oh, that's perfect. Now you stay right there and wait.
Okay, darling, but do hurry. I've got the shakes.
Well, Miss Brent, that's quite a pose. But I wouldn't try it in a high wind. You might take off.
Very funny. I'm in the aisle.
I wonder if you could stand the shock of my saying that I dislike you intensely.
Well, dear, when I have the time, I'll sit down and brood over it. But right now, please go away.
Not until I've had a few words with you. Peter and I are going to be married next month.
Is that so?
Yes, and in the meantime, he needs protection from a certain kind of woman.
Oh, he certainly does.
Are you going to leave town, or are you going to force me to scratch your eyes out?
Oh, look, will you stop being a dope?
Why, you...
Well, that was a silly thing to do. Now I'll just have to hit you right back.
Ouch! Why, you contemptible little nothing. Who do you think you are slapping me? Oh, why, you do that once more and I'll tear your hair out.
Quiet.
Of all the
This
nerve.
isn't nice at all.
Oh,
Control
I'll show
yourself.
you. I'll show you. You stop shushing me, you little tramp. I'll kill you for this.
Oh, okay, sister, you asked for it.
Ow! Let my hair go. If you think you can come in here and ouch and do anything you want to, ow! Let go of me. He's got another thing coming, and I'm just the one who can do it too.
Oh, you stuck me. She stuck me with a ball.
Yes.
Francie! Francie! Helen!
Let go of me. Let me go.
All right, Peter, I've got Helen.
My hair.
I saw it. I saw the whole thing. Take that redhead out of here.
Oh, Mr. Morgan.
Father, I can explain. Now,
Take
please
her
don't.
out of here.
I hear voices. Oh,
Mother,
dear.
look, darling, I'm sorry. Mother, are you all right? Mother!
Quick, someone get some smelling salts. She's fainted. Come on, Francie. Take her away.
Quiet, isn't it?
Very.
Oh, it's so nice to be alone.
Yes, isn't it, darling? Oh, Peter, what are we going to do? Anybody'd think I wasn't your wife, including me. If ever a girl felt unmarried, I do. Look, darling, do you think your father might be cooled off enough so that we could tell him?
Oh, I'm going to try. He's making a speech at the university tonight. I'll catch him there so he can't yell too loudly.
Well, it's been a whole week since that fight. And this is the first time we've been alone.
Hey, you two over there.
What do you think you're doing?
What? Oh, hello, officer.
Well, you better make it good. It's against the law to hold necking parties on the side of a public highway. Now, what have you got to say for yourself?
Nothing. That is, look, officer, wait a minute. You've got to understand.
Make it good.
We've never had a chance to tell anyone before, but, well, you see, she and I are married.
Oh, you are you?
Yeah.
Then why don't you go home?
Well, Bob, does everything meet with your approval?
Oh, yes, Mr. Lloyd, but all this talk about universities and schools brings back my college days.
Really? Where did you go?
I went to Cornell.
You did?
Yes, and I was also voted the most likely to succeed.
Really?
Yes, and that made the 27th time the school was wrong.
Well, didn't that upset you?
Well, it might have, but I just held myself in check and said, why be irritated? Light an old gold.
What did you say?
Why be irritated? Light an old gold. Yes, smokers, when the gremlins start ganging up on you, that's the time to look for pleasure. The pleasure of a swell cigarette.
And Old Gold fills the bill perfectly. Its superb blend of many fine tobaccos, including a touch of costly, extra flavorful Latakia tobacco, is conditioned with apple honey. This special conditioning process helps hold in the natural moisture, helps guard against cigarette dryness.
So look to Old Gold and light an Old Gold for more smoking pleasure. But remember, they've tripled in popularity, and billions of them are going to our men and women overseas. So if your dealer was sold out today, we're extremely sorry, but do ask again for Old Gold next time. We're doing our best to keep up. And your patience will be rewarded when your dealer says,
Old Gold, here you are.
Old Gold, the cigarette conditioned with apple honey to help prevent cigarette dryness, to give you more smoking pleasure.
Yes, this is Harold Lloyd again. Peter and Francie are desperate. Imagine it yourself. Married for a whole week and never having a chance to be alone together. They've made several efforts to tell Peter's father about their marriage, but every time something happens. Francie got into a fight at the prom with Helen, who had been Peter's fiancée. His mother had a heart attack, and his father was fit to be tied. But Peter has determined to make one last effort. He goes to the university and catches his father just as he is going into the assembly hall to make a speech.
Father, you'll have to listen to me for a minute.
I tell you, I haven't got time. Later.
Dad, listen.
I said later.
Dad, you've got to listen. Francie, that girl, she's not Keith's girl, she's my wife.
What did you say?
I said that girl is my wife, and I might add, she's the finest wife a man ever had.
Are you mad, Peter?
Completely, and I hope it's a permanent condition.
I won't have you throwing your life away.
It's my life.
While you're a member of my faculty, you'll do as I say.
Well, then consider me no longer a member of your faculty.
What are you two shouting for? We can hear you in the auditorium. Father, are you all right?
I'm all right. It's this boy.
Peter, what on earth's the matter?
I'm glad you're here, Mother, and you too, Helen.
Be quiet. You know your mother has a weak heart.
I won't be quiet. I've been quiet long enough.
Mr. Morgan, what's the matter?
You've done it again. Get some water. Get a doctor. Get somebody.
Who is it? Who's there?
It's me, Francie. Peter.
Where are you?
On the fire escape. Outside the window. Let me in.
Peter, for heaven's sake.
What happened? What fell?
Oh, just that Murphy bed. The maid calls it Walter because it's like her husband, always falling down. It even fell down once when I just closed the drawer of the desk.
Here, I'll help you put it up.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you.
Francie, why couldn't you talk to me on the phone? I've got to talk to you. And that man downstairs, he wouldn't let me come up in the elevator.
Peter, it won't do any good to talk. I've made up my mind, darling. I'm going back to New York.
Well, let's stop a little while and talk it over anyway.
Peter, I can talk much more lucidly with you over there.
If you go, I'm going with you.
No, Peter, there's your work and your mother to think of. I was just ready to go. The train leaves at 4.
I can't go back down right now. There's a policeman standing down on the corner.
Well, he may have gone.
I'll look and see. Well, there are 2 of them now.
Oh.
Walter didn't fall down that time.
No. Well, I guess you'll have to stay for a little while.
Yeah, guess I'll have to. Where does that door go?
Closet.
Are you sure you haven't left anything? I'd better take a look. Nope, nothing here. Walter's still up.
Try the desk drawer. I think I left some books in the desk. Will you return them for me?
Certainly.
I couldn't keep just one, could I, Peter?
Why not?
Well, will you autograph it for me, please?
What shall I write?
Whatever you want to. Here, let me see. Francie, darling, I love you. Please never read beyond this page. Oh, Peter. Oh, Peter, darling, I can't go.
Oh, now you're really making sense, darling. Walter?
Walter? Shh. Who is it?
It's Mrs. Morgan. May I come in?
Mother, what'll I do?
Well, you'll have to go down the fire escape, darling. Here, hurry.
What do you suppose she wants?
Well, we can't wait to find out. Hurry.
All right, goodbye, darling. I'll see you later.
Yes, goodbye. Oh, hello, Mrs. Morgan. Please come in, won't you?
Thank you. Since you know who I am, it simplifies what I have to say. I found out everything about you and Peter.
Oh, Mother, I'm so glad. You know, we've been frightened to death to tell you we were married. I had begun to think I might lose him.
I think if you don't mind, I'll sit down.
You mean you didn't know we were married?
No, I didn't. This is the first I've heard of that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I wouldn't have blurted it out like this for anything. Oh, how's your heart? How do you feel?
I think I'm going to feel fine.
But your heart?
My dear, I only have heart trouble when it's convenient. When my husband raises his voice, it saves such a lot of bother.
Oh, no, that's wonderful.
Listen, I don't care who you are. Even if you are the president of the university, it's against the rules for men to come up here. Besides, why aren't you in school?
I'm playing hockey.
Well!
No, young lady. Mother! Well...
It's all right, Mr. Morgan. Mother knows about Peter and me.
Oh, she does she? How chummy. Now, Miss Brent, you look like a practical young lady.
Father, please.
Don't interrupt. Miss Brent, just why did you marry my son?
Because I love him. I want to be his wife.
Marrying you means Peter is throwing away everything important in his life. In the end, it'll make you as unhappy as it will him. The simplest solution is a quiet divorce. If you insist upon being unreasonable, I'll be forced to ask Peter for his resignation.
Father, you're not grading papers now, nor dismissing class.
Come, Mother. I have to get back to the university. Come on.
Come here, go there. 30 years I've had of it, all for good old Sharon, our alma mater. Laugh when you want to cry. If you laugh, don't laugh too loud. Don't wear a red dress even though you love red. It's too conspicuous. Love old Sharon. Love it even when it's breaking your son's heart.
Coming, my dear.
Coming? I'm going.
It's all right, Mr. Morgan. I am going too.
Thank you.
More tea, Francie.
Thank you, Mother.
Oh, this is wonderful. I feel so free.
Yes. Doesn't one feel free?
New York's going to be so much fun. We can go where we want to.
Do what we want to.
Wear what we want. And no husbands to bother us or...
Oh, Mother, you don't feel good about leaving.
Oh, I know I don't, Francie.
Well, as a matter of fact, neither do I.
But what could I do? I just had to go through with it.
Oh, Mother, it's all my fault.
Oh, now, don't you worry about me. You've got trouble enough of your own. Oh, heavens, what happened?
Well, I can't imagine. Just a minute, I'll find out. Porter? What happened?
You ladies stay in your compartments and don't worry. We just ran into a car at the crossing.
Heavens, was anyone hurt?
No, ma'am. There didn't seem to be nobody in it.
Oh, well, that's good. Oh, by the way, Porter, you can make up our berths. I'm in the next compartment.
Yes, I know.
Well, good night, Mother.
Good night, darling.
I see no necessity, Peter, for placing the car across the track and having it wrecked. The porter said compartment C. Here we are.
Father!
Well, Mother, I've come to take you home. This nonsense...
Oh!
All right, Dad. Make your mind up. Which do you want most, Mother or the university?
Don't be ridiculous.
Dad, you weren't always like this, but it looks to me like when you grow up, you're apt to turn into a crab.
Well, what would you suggest?
That you forget everything but what your honeymoon was like.
All right.
Who's there?
It's I.
Go away!
I was in that wreck. The train struck me. Oh, my heart. My heart.
Father, why didn't you tell me? Here, come in, lie down. I'll get you home. We'll get you back to the doctor.
What the heck is going... Peter. Oh, Peter, how did you get here?
Now, what sort of a honeymoon would this be without me?
Oh, terrible, darling, but... what about your father?
He's on his honeymoon. In there.
Oh, darling!
The sign say, ma'am, quiet as requested for the benefit of them who has retired.
We're retiring, Porter. Come on, darling.
Now, this is Harold Lloyd,
Linda Darnell,
and Lee Bowman,
saying good night to you for Old Gold. And I hope you'll be with us again next Sunday when the Old Gold Comedy Theater presents Joseph Cotton in Clarence. See you then.
Vivacious Lady was presented by arrangement with RKO Studios, producers of None But the Lonely Heart. We wish to thank 20th Century Fox Film Corporation for the appearance of Linda Darnell. Miss Darnell is currently working in the 20th Century Fox picture Hangover Square. Mr. Lee Bowman appears through arrangement with Columbia Pictures and will soon be seen co-starred with Rita Hayworth and Janet Blair in Columbia's Technicolor production Tonight and Every Night. Now remember, don't let little annoyances get you down. Why be irritated? Light an Old Gold. It's conditioned with apple honey to help guard against cigarette dryness and gives you more smoking pleasure. And listen to Old Gold's other great new show, Which is Which, with Ken Murray as MC, Richard Himber's orchestra, and famous stars of stage, screen, and radio, or their reasonable facsimiles. Tune in Wednesday night on another network. Consult your newspaper for time and station. This is Bob Williams saying good night for Old Gold.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
79 years ago, November 19th, 1944, the Old Gold Comedy Theater here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. We'll hear from Claudia and David following these important messages.
You know, a fire that is raging out of control, a fire that isn't burning in an open fireplace or a closed furnace, but a fire that is burning all over the house, destroying everything it touches. That's the fire we all live in fear of. The sound of fire engines racing by in the dead of night isn't an exciting sound. It's a frightening sound. And the only kind of comfort we derive from hearing it is a kind of a small, uneasy relief that it isn't happening to us. Small and uneasy because we know that it could be happening to us. We all hope that it never will. But that's a futile kind of hope, unless we take active steps to see that it doesn't. And the steps to prevent such a fire happening to us are really simple. Here they are. Don't smoke in bed, and don't lose track of that cigarette you're smoking somewhere around the house. Don't store up old rags and papers. Clean them out. Don't put up with defective wiring and old frayed cords. Don't use cleaning fluids that will catch fire. Don't leave matches in reach of small children. Just 5 steps. Follow them. If you don't, you're gambling with fire, and the odds are overwhelmingly against you.
Only you. Yeah. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. By the way, tomorrow again, Casey Crime Photographer, Broadway is My Beat, Gunsmoke, Have Gun Will Travel, and Lemon Abner. But right now, an episode of Claudia from 75 years ago, November 19th, 1948.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia, based on the famous play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you transcribed Monday through Friday by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
Oh, come on. Now, have another cup of coffee, Roger.
Yeah, come on, Roger, have
Yeah, I
one.
didn't realize you were left-handed, Roger.
Left-handed?
No.
I am not left-handed.
You must be, even if you don't know it. You're holding your coffee cup in your left hand.
Oh, that. It's not a choice, and it is awkward.
Your right arm's out of commission, is that it?
Just slightly.
Mm-hmm. That's why you were tossing around and not sleeping, as you said.
Go to the head of the class, David.
Well, what is the matter with your arm, Roger?
Touch of neuritis.
Oh, dear.
And that's all we're going to say about it. Not another word.
Neuritis, eh? Since when?
I must have gotten into a draft or something.
Well, have you seen a doctor yet, Roger?
I haven't had a chance. Just came over me.
Well, maybe it's not neuritis.
What else could it be?
Maybe you slept on your arm wrong or something.
Claudia, incompetent as I may be in many ways, I don't usually go around sleeping on my arm wrong.
Well, I guess you don't, or you'd have known it before.
Now, look, Roger, I don't pretend to be a doctor, but maybe Claudia's right. It isn't neuritis.
Suggest something pleasanter?
Well, what
if
I
you
mean
can.
is that maybe immobilizing your arm that way and keeping your hand in your pocket is just the wrong thing for it.
Yes, might be.
If it isn't neuritis, maybe you ought to even use it.
It's more comfortable this way.
Well, I know it's more
Look,
comfortable.
David, just one more word before we close this subject forever. I am not a weakling, neither am I an ancient. Nevertheless, my constitution is such that I am constantly plagued with ills of various natures. Having ascertained that I am not a hypochondriac...
That's a person who always thinks he's sick and isn't, darling.
I know what a hypo
You seem to.
is.
I have made a business of not feeling well more comfortably than any other man I have ever known.
Now, look, it's a beautiful
and that's
day,
all
Roger.
we're going to say about it.
It's a very lovely day, and the sun is warm.
Well, good for the sun.
I tell you what. I have to go up to the barn, and I'll give Fritz a hand with a few things up there, and you can come along and watch.
I
What you
do
say?
not want to go with you. I'm going to stay right here and pamper myself to my heart's content. You run along, David.
Oh, it's such a beautiful day, too. It seems a shame to waste it in the living room, Roger.
Each to his own.
Well, I think that taking a walk would make you feel like a new man, Roger.
But would that be any improvement?
David, you take him. He's hopeless.
Now, look, seriously,
All right.
Roger.
All right. Anything to prevent a lecture. I shall take a walk.
I don't believe it.
A small walk. I'm not coming up to the barn with you to break my back and labor, but I shall take a walk.
Have a nice trip?
I know I won't feel any better for it. I know that this is probably the worst thing for my neuritis. I know I shall forget and regret this, but I will take a small walk.
Hi there, friend. Tucker here.
Oh, Mr. Tucker. Hello.
Where are you ambling, Mr. Killian?
Oh, no place special.
Then you are ambling for sure.
Is that an axe you're holding in your hand, Mr. Tucker?
An axe it be, friend. I'm chopping up some firewood, I am.
You're chopping wood?
You don't think I'm going to hire a man at $1 an hour to chop it for me, do you?
Well, it seems to me you're...
As for hired help, it's more work than doing it yourself. Got to see how they earn their pay. No, I chop it myself, I do.
But isn't it a little late for
Oh,
you to
this ain't the first I chopped this season. It ain't that. But my wood bin's running low, and there's a smell of snow not far off. Besides, I was itching to work up a good sweat. Nothing like it to make a man feel less than his age. Not that his age has anything to do with the way he feels, no.
Much.
What's that you're saying? Stop whispering there. You aiming to make me feel deep? Some folks is so cussed mean they whisper so's the man will think he went and lost his hearing.
But I didn't say anything. You haven't given me the chance to say anything.
Anything special you wanted to say?
No, but...
Well, then what are you beefing about?
But I...
Some folks always complaining. Hold a conversation with them, all they do is complain.
I give up.
Yeah, I had a couple hours between feeding the pigs and milking the cows and reporting in for lunch, so I set my hand to chopping wood. Hey, what's the matter? Why the funny look onto your face? There ain't nothing humiliating about a man chopping his own wood to your way of thinking, is there?
On the contrary, Mr. Tucker, I was only standing here, my jaw dropping in admiration of your vitality.
Sure is a highfalutin sentence. I take it you're meaning that a man of my age don't usually go around chopping his own wood, hey?
Is it wise? Is it healthy?
Well, it sure is wise. Saves me a pretty penny. And as for it being healthy, there ain't nothing like a bit of exercise to set your blood flowing through your veins.
And just so that it doesn't overflow.
Nope, I wouldn't say that any man ever hurt himself by bending a muscle. Matter of fact, most men get carried off to their graves without their having used up even a half of their stamina and their muscle.
I've always thought by the time a man gets carried off to his grave, he'd used himself up completely.
Oh, that's a fallacious idea, that is. Most people even die with a full set of teeth into their heads. Fools. They ain't had sense to wear out their uppers and lowers.
That's a new way of looking at it.
And lots of folks get themselves buried when they can hear and see just about as good as a colt. Now, I'm asking you, Mr. Killian, as an architect, that is, ain't that a waste of perfectly good apparatus?
I hadn't thought of it like this before.
Yeah, you won't catch Jared Tucker making that mistake. No, sir, you won't. When I get carried off to be planted neath the petunias, won't be burying nothing worth more'n about 5 cents.
That's an ambition worth working for, I must say.
Already used up my teeth. Yeah, wore 'em right down to the nub before I let the medico pull 'em out. Now I'm getting so's I can't see so good out of my left eye. Right one's just as sharp as a foxhole. And as for me hearing, there ain't no rooster crowing in the morning far up his Bridgeport. It don't wake me up.
Then, according to your plan, Mr. Tucker, you have a great many years and parts left to work your way through.
Oh, I'm only 86. Some folks like to make up stories, say I'm near 90 and that I got 1 foot closer to 95, but that's just a lot of hogwash. I ain't a day older than 86. I ain't a day younger either.
And I dare say you'll still be chopping wood at 90.
You're darn tootin' I will.
I wish that I had your conceit and some of your muscles.
Well, you'll never have any muscle if you just stand around talking about it, except the muscles in your jaws.
I'm afraid convictions must come first.
Well, then, man, convict yourself. Here's my axe.
Your axe? What do I want with your axe?
And there's the wood pile. Start chopping.
You mean I should chop the wood?
You was just saying you would like to follow my example.
Oh.
Matter of fact, them what does like Tucker does right. Trouble with you, Mr. Killian, you've been an architect too long. Time you stopped telling folks what to do and started doing them yourself. Now you grab the axe like so.
But I don't want to grab the axe.
Your wanting ain't got nothing to do with it. Grab it, I say.
I wouldn't even be able to lift it up.
My grandpappy died when he was 96.
So?
He died chopping wood.
That's a pleasant thought for a man who's about to hold his first axe.
But you don't have any ambition to live until you're 96, do you?
Yes, but not to die now, chopping wood.
Grab the axe. Enough of this here palaver.
But, Mr. Tucker, let me explain to you. I can hardly take my right arm out of my pocket. I have a very severe case of neuritis.
Neuritis is balderdash. That's what it is.
It may be balderdash to you, but it's a severe pain in the neck to me.
Exercise, son, exercise. It's the cure of all ills. If you got a cold, you blow your nose and exercise it right out of your system. It's the same principle.
I am not convinced.
I'm guaranteeing you, man, if you set your blood moving faster than a turtle crawling through a hedge, you'll feel as if you've been rescued from the dead. What, walking around pampering yourself like this, you ain't no better than a warm corpse.
These compliments, Mr. Tucker, are quite turning my head.
Think nothing of it, son. I'm a free man with words. Don't cost me a thing. Now, I ain't going to plead with you. It's for your own good. If you've got any sense, you'll do just as I say. But don't you think I'm a good specimen of a man for 86, eh?
Well, I've never seen a fitter.
Good.
As a matter of fact, your energy is one of the things that speaks louder than your words. I'm half tempted. Oh, but no, it's ridiculous. I could no more lift this axe
You
than I
don't
could...
grab hold of it, it's going to drop on your toe and chop it clean off.
All right, give it here. I'll try and... Oh, good Lord, it weighs a ton.
You're holding it fine. Now swing it up over your shoulder.
Swing this thing up?
Correct. Heave ho. Oh! And down it comes on this here log.
That wasn't too bad.
Now lift it up. And down it
Nah.
comes. Lift it up. And down it comes. I'll be gol danged if you ain't a wood chopper to heart.
David? Hey, David, come over here a second. I wonder what could have happened to Roger.
I don't know. He left the house for a short walk over an hour ago.
You don't suppose he's taken sick or something, do you?
No. That's absurd.
Well, he wasn't feeling well before he left, remember?
He's only had a little neuritis in his right arm. He'll be back. I'm not going to worry about it.
Much. You know you've been staring out of that open window for 10 minutes?
It's just as it isn't like Roger to take such a long walk. If there's anything he hates, it's exercise.
He's sweet. He reminds me of a cauliflower. Sort of white and...
Killian here. Open the door.
The door's open.
I'm back.
Come on in.
Where on earth have you been, man?
I've been working on the railroad, just down the road away.
To look at you and hear you, I'd say you found a tavern down the road away.
Not a bit of it. Oh, it's a glorious morning, and I feel like a new man.
Well, I must say you certainly look like a new man. Your face is flushed, your hair's all tousled, you look bursting with energy.
I was. Oh, let me sit down.
Right here.
Well, what on earth have you been doing?
Oh, nothing much.
Listen, how's your arm, Roger?
Well, it's pretty sore on my shoulder, but a good, healthy sore.
Now, look, Roger, there's more to this than meets the eye, so come on, confess. Come on, tell me, what have you been up to?
I have been chopping wood.
You have been what?
I showed that Mr. Tucker a few things about chopping wood.
I think I better sit down too, David.
Yes, I'm sold on it. Mr. Tucker has me sold on it.
Sold you on what?
Chopping wood? But your arm, I thought you had neuritis. You could hardly lift your cup of coffee this morning.
You're right. I had neuritis. I could hardly lift my coffee cup, so I lifted an axe instead.
Well, how's your arm now? I notice it's still in your pocket.
It's excruciatingly painful. I can hardly move it, but it's wonderful.
No. Oh, it's wonderful, is it? Well, just tell me here and now exactly what is so wonderful about it.
Don't you see, David? Instead of neuritis, I have a Charlie horse.
Charlie horse?
Yes. And there's nothing healthier than a Charlie horse. And I'll be gall-dinged if I ain't sold on this outdoor life. You ought to try it.
I ought? You don't say.
Well, I'll be. I will be gall-dinged.
When the man of the house reports the busy details of his day, doesn't it sometimes occur to you that yours could match it? As you go about your many chores, why not stop once in a while for the pause that refreshes with ice-cold Coca-Cola? Delicious, sparkling Coke helps you work refreshed, no matter what you're doing.
Hold on there a moment, Mr. King.
Why, certainly, Mr. Tucker. What's on your mind?
That, Mr. Killian, did he find his way home all right?
Not only his way home, but his way to bed.
Feeling all right, though, wasn't he?
Marvelously exhausted and aching.
He'll feel worse tomorrow, but the next day busting with health. He ain't much of a wood chopper. He's a city man right down to his shoe tops. He ain't a bad sort, though. No, he ain't.
Well, Claudia and David are very fond of him, you know.
Well, their judgment's just about as good as mine, usually.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Tucker, on Monday, as plans are being made for the Naughton Thanksgiving dinner, we'll see just how good their judgment is.
About the dinner?
And about Roger Killian, too.
Well, I'll be around, but for the present, I got to get back to my wood. Say, how about lending me a hand?
No, thanks. I don't need any medicine. I'm feeling fine right now, and all I want to say in addition to this is that every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again Monday at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. The parts of Claudia and David on this program were played by Catherine Bard and Paul Crabtree. And the entire production is supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
What I wouldn't give to have one of those Coca-Colas out of a glass bottle bottled down the street by a guy local in the community. Claudia, November 19th, 1948, 75 years ago here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream, and visit us tomorrow for Crime and Western Adventure. That'll be coming up tomorrow's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox right here.